So just wanted to shoot a quick scene here about Project Turbo LS. I've installed the timing chain and the camshaft, as you can see here. Also, I bought the LS2 timing chain, which has thicker links than the regular factory 6-liter timing chain, and I just reused the stock gear set, as you can see, and of course ARP fasteners on that camshaft, 3 of them, torqued to 25 foot-pounds. And also I did get this the trick flow damper kit to stop the timing chain from whipping around at high RPM. So basically it ensures better timing with a crankshaft and camshaft being in phase and more consistent. So I put that on there just so the timing chain lasts longer, it's more durable. And I'll show you the part number here. So it's a TFS 3067 5600. Basically it looks like this here. You can see the picture. So you get the bracket, the fasteners, and you have to use these fasteners to clear the upper timing chain gear, because if you use the factory 10 mil guys here, or the 8 mils with a 10 mil head, it won't clear. So you got to use those. Yeah, so timing chain's in, camshaft is in, and just a little here's the dot. I'm not sure if you guys can see that, so that's dot to dot. Piston number 1's at top dead center down here. So it's either going to be exhaust or on the exhaust stroke or the compression. I believe it's on compression because I can see that both the lobes on number 1 are on the base circle. So I think we're good there. And yeah, so camshaft is in, timing chain is in, timing chain damper is in. So another point here, this is the cam we used. Here it is, hydraulic roller camshaft for 97 2004 GM LS series Gen 3s. This is basically the sloppy turbo grind. Here's the cam specs. It's 585 lift on both intake and exhaust. Duration at 50, 228 on the intake, 230 on exhaust. And this is at 50 thou timing. 50 thou lift, I should say. So yeah, so it's a sloppy stage 2 grind from Jags. I got a good deal on it, so it was on sale. So I just went ahead and purchased that. Here's the price when it was on sale, $229.99 USD. That turns out to be $357.12 Canadian. Just another note here, when I measured the base circle on the stock cam, it was 1.550. The base circle on the Jags cam was 1.433, difference of 117 thousandths. So basically, if we could actually get a push rod that's exactly 117 thousandths longer, and the preload on the lifter should be about the same. But I got a push rod length checker anyways, and we're gonna verify that when I get the heads on, and then we're gonna check the geometry, and then we're gonna get the proper push rod length. It'll probably be about 125 longer, 125 thousandths longer, but yeah. So that's just a quick calculation to get you in the ballpark. We're gonna verify that though when we get the heads on this thing. So again, timing chain and the damper is in, camshaft is in, piston number 1's top dead center, timing marks are dot to dot, number 6 is also top dead center, so that's probably on the exhaust stroke there. And it rotates nice and easy, as you can see. No binding, no nothing. Really good. Hopefully you can see this, but yeah. So now, yeah, here's the dot up here, and again the dot's down here. And so this is probably compression for either 1 or, I believe, yeah, so this is compression for number 6, because I can see the cam lobe here for number 1. It's on the highest portion there. So that's probably the exhaust event. So I also wanted to show you guys just the difference in the thickness of the links on the timing chain. This is the LS2 timing chain, and this guy in my hand here, that's the factory timing chain that came with the 6-liter. basically, you guys can see that. You can see how much thicker and beefier the LS2 timing chain is. I measured it, and the thick links are 70 thou versus the thick ones on this one are 55, and the thin ones on this one are 55 versus about 45 on the factory one. So a lot beefier. I'm using the factory gears that came with the 6 liter. So $39, you got a good chain that's strong. You're not going to have any problems, and since you're in here, you might as well put the stronger chain in and have some durability and reliability there for you in case of you don't want to have a failure. So I've also installed the oil pump, as you guys can see here. This is the Melling, let's see what it is. Yeah, Melling, it's just a factory pump, M295, I believe it is. Yeah, there we go. So it's the Melling factory replacement oil pump, M295. Standard pressure, or the pressure that is factory, but it's new. So the procedure that they have all over the internet for installing this pump is to use shims and all that kind of fancy stuff to get it centered perfectly. But what I do is I actually put grease around the generator, so the grease acts as a spacer, and these bolts here are loose. So what you do now is you just rotate it, and it kind of takes a set, or it centers itself, because the grease is acting as the shims in the fancy method that everybody uses on the internet, or I should say on YouTube. So I just use grease, and as you can see here, it's been squishing out, so it kind of centers it. Then you snug these guys up, and it should be relatively in the center, because we rotated it a couple times like that. And we'll set our torque here. 18 foot-pounds is just going to be basically snug, so that's it. So that's all you got to worry about. So again, just rotating it just to center it. These things are now snugged. Okay, so let's just do this here. Sorry for the shaky camera work, but I don't have a cameraman, so. $18. We want to go crosswise. $18. That one's done. $18. $18. And 18. Give it a quick another rotate. Yeah, it looks good. And also I did put some grease on the discharge port between the block and the discharge of this pump, just to make a good seal. So it'll be easier to get this thing primed up. And it rotates nice, so that's good. So there we have it. Timing chain damper installed with the LS2 timing chain. Stops from whipping around. Oil pumps on there. So just wanted to shoot another little scene here. What we're going to do now is we're going to install the roller lifters. So I'm just using the factory ones because they're in good shape and they roll nicely, as you guys can see here. So a lot of people have the question, I'm not sure if you guys can see that, but there's a little oiling hole here. Which direction these go? Well, the thing is, if you look at them, the roller tip has to go either this way, putting the oil hole facing forward, or it has to go this way, putting the oil hole facing to the rear of the engine. So it doesn't really matter because you have a, hang on a sec here, let me just get the light. Because there's an oiling hole in there and it basically encompasses 180 degrees. So if you put them forward or put the oil hole facing forward or put the oil hole facing backwards, it will still get pressurized oil. So what we're going to do is we're just going to put them facing forward. So yeah, it doesn't really matter again which way they go, backwards or forwards. So yeah, we'll just put them facing forwards. And again, we're just using the factory setup here because they're in relatively good condition. So yeah, we'll see what happens when we get these things installed. So order of operations: lifters go in, then the lifter trays go in. So that wraps up the timing chain, camshaft, and oil pump install. If you have any questions or comments, put them down below. And again, thanks for watching.